A very good day, children. Welcome back to your social science class of 6th standard. We were discussing about the second chapter of history, that is our state, Karnataka. In that we were dealing with Mysore division. In the previous session, we have studied about the 4 districts of Mysore division, namely Mysuru, Chamrajanagara, Hasan and Chikmagaluru. We have learnt about the various aspects like their uniqueness, their agriculture, their industries, tourist places, their important personalities. In this session, you shall learn about 2 important districts that come under Mysore division. The first one is Mandya and the next one is Kodagu or Kurg. Mandya district basically comprises of the following talukas. It comprises of Nagamangala, Krishnarajapete, Pandavapura, Mandya, Madduru, Srirangapatna and Malavalli. So these are the important talukas of Mandya. Mandya district was formed in the year 1938 by dividing Mysore district. Earlier, Mandya was a part of Mysore district itself. In the year 1938, Mandya was divided from Mysore and a separate district was created. It is said that sage Mandavya did penance here, which in turn gave the name of Mandya. The name Mandya is derived from the name of the sage Mandavya. Mandavya was a very famous sage and it is believed that he did penance. Penance in Kannada you call it as tapasya. He did penance in this place and from him comes the name Mandya. Sugarcane and paddy are the main important crops of this district. So the important crops of Mandya are sugarcane and paddy. Sugarcane in Kannada you call it as kabbu. That is the reason why Mandya is known as Karnatakada Sakkare Nadu or the sugar bowl of Karnataka. It is also famous for the cultivation of paddy or batta. India's first big sugar factory was started here in the year 1933. So in 1933, when Mandya was a part of the British colony, the first sugar factory was established at a place called as Palahalli. It is a small village in Mandya. And at this place called as Palahalli in 1933, the first sugar factory was established on a large scale. The district has numerous rice mills. As I said, Mandya is famous for the production of sugarcane as well as rice. So here you find a large number of sugar factories as well as rice mills. In order to encourage agriculture, the government has established agricultural research station at Gundalu in 1951. To encourage agriculture, in 1951, the government of India established the agricultural research station at a place called as Gundalu in Mandya. Even at a place called as Shivalli, there you find a seed production center or a center that manufactures or produces steel. So basically because of the production of sugar, Mandya is known as the sugar bowl of Karnataka. It is also famous for the production of paddy and it has a large number of rice mills over here. Srirangapatna of this district is a historical and religious center. Srirangapatna is one of the important talukas that comes under Mandya district. It is a very famous historical as well as religious center. Historically, it was important because it was the capital city of the Wadayars. It was also one of the important places under the rule of Tipu Sultan and Hyder Ali. Finally, in 1799, the British took over Srirangapatna. The tombs of Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan are in Gumbaz. So here, as you can see in the picture, it is Gumbaz, which is the tomb of Hyder Ali, who was the father of Tipu Sultan. Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan were very famous rulers who ruled over the Mysore kingdom. So their tomb is in a place known as Gumbaz in Srirangapatna. Darya Daulat. This is Darya Daulat and it was the summer palace of Tipu Sultan. Gumbaz and Darya Daulat are famous tourist attraction places in Srirangapatna. This city is on the banks of the river Kaveri. Sriranganatha is the patron god of this town. So, the city of Srirangapatna is situated on the banks of the river Kaveri. The main deity or the main god of this city is Sriranganatha or Ranganatha Swami. The temple of Sriranganatha is established in a spacious place. A very beautiful temple dedicated to Lord Ranganatha Swami is situated in Srirangapatna. Many tourists visit this holy place. Children, you can see here the image of Lord Ranganatha Swami, which is inside the temple of Srirangapatna. It is a very famous pilgrim center. The temples of Sriranganatha are there in all the three islands created by the river Kaveri. Island is a small place which is surrounded by four sides of water. In Kannada for island you call it as Dvipa. So the river Kaveri has created three small islands. And in all these three islands created by the river Kaveri, we find temples dedicated to Lord Sriranganatha or Ranganatha Swami. The first one, as I told you, is in Srirangapatna. And the second one is in a place called as Shivana Samudra, which is also in Mandya itself. And the last one is in Srirangam in Tamil Nadu. So, wherever the river Kaveri has created small islands or dvipa, we find there a temple dedicated to Lord Ranganatha Swami, and they are in Srirangapatna, in Shivana Samudra in Mandya, as well as Srirangam in Tamil Nadu. The Paschima Vahini is sacred to all Hindus. Apart from this, Adinatha Tirthankara's Basati is also there. So, apart from the temples, we also find a very famous Basati belonging to Adinatha Tirthankara, who was a Jaina teacher. So, this famous Basati means Jain temples are known as Basatis. So, this famous Basati belonging to Adinatha Tirthankara is also in Mandya. A church is there in Ganjam that was built by Abbe Dubius. A famous church is built in a place known as Ganjam. The church you can see here by Abbe Dubius. Abbe Dubius was a very famous French Christian missionary. When he came to Mysuru and Mandya, in a place called as Ganjam, he built this church. This town is a center for bullock cart production. So, apart from the church, the place of Ganjam is also famous for the production of bullock carts. Bullock carts means Yattina Bande. In Ganjam, they produce a lot of bullock carts. So, this town is famous for the production of bullock carts. Boppegowdanapura, the village where the sacred grave of Manteswami is present. Manteswami Siddhapaji was a famous 14th century social reformer. His sacred grave or samadhi is there in a place known as Boppegowdanapura. It is also a famous pilgrim center. Apart from that, you also find in Melkote the famous Chaluvanarayana Swami temple also. Even Pandavapura is also a famous place in Mandya. Shivana Samudra, which has Gaganachukki waterfalls, and Adichunchanagiri are some other interesting places of this district. In Shivana Samudra, you have the famous waterfalls of Gaganachukki and Barachukki. This is also found in Mandya. Apart from that, we also have Adichunchanagiri, where the famous Adichunchanagiri Mata is situated. Apart from that, another important place of visit is the Ranganathittu Bird Sanctuary. The Ranganathittu Bird Sanctuary is a very famous bird sanctuary in Karnataka. The Adichunchanagiri Mutt runs schools and colleges. In the picture, you can see the famous Adichunchanagiri Mutt in Adichunchanagiri Hills. A Sanskrit school is established in 1854 in Melkote. The Parakala Mutt, the Ahobala Mutt and the Yatiraja Mutt are there in Melkote. Melkote is famous for its Chaluvanarayana Swami temple. Apart from that, you find the famous mutts of Parakala Mutt, Ahobala Mutt and Yatiraja Mutt also in Melkote. The Adichunchanagiri Mutt is very famous as it runs a number of educational institutions. It runs a number of schools and colleges over Mandya and Mysore. A famous Sanskrit school is also there in Melkote. Another important landmark of Mandya is the KRS Dam, or popularly known as the Krishnarajasagar Dam. It is the lifeline of Mandya district. This dam is built across river Kaveri and it provides irrigation facility to the district of Mandya and Mysuru. So, the KRS Dam is the lifeline of Mandya because it is the main source of water supply to the districts of Mandya and Mysore. Even the water of river Kaveri even provides water for the city of Bangalore also. The KRS Dam is built across the river Kaveri and it is the source of water for irrigation also to the districts of Mandya and Mysuru. This dam was built by India's most famous engineer Sir M. Vishveshwaraya. So Sir M. Vishveshwaraya is the chief architect of the KRS Dam. It is named after Krishnaraja Wadeyar Fort, who was instrumental in its construction. So this dam is named after the famous Wadeyar king Krishnaraja Wadeyar Fort because it was he who initiated the construction of this dam under the guidance of Sir M. Vishveshwaraya. It was built in 1932. The construction began in 1911. It is not only an irrigation dam, means it is not only a dam that provides water for agriculture, but it also provides water for drinking to the cities of Mysuru and Mandya also, and even to the district of Bangalore. So the next district that we'll be learning today is the district of Kodagu, also known as Coorg. Kodagu is one of the most famous hill stations of Karnataka. It is known for its breathtaking beauty and lush greenery. Forest-covered hills, spice and coffee plantation add to the landscape. Therefore, Kodagu is famous as the Kashmir of Karnataka. After the decline of the Keladi rulers, the Haleri kings ruled Kodagu from 1600 to 1834. Kodagu was initially ruled by the Keladi rulers. After the Keladi rulers, the Haleri kings ruled over Kodagu. It was in 1834 that the Britishers took over the kingdom of Kodagu. Kodagu is also known as Coorg. Coorg was merged with Karnataka state in 1956. Children, as you know, India became independent on August 15, 1947. From 1947 to 1956, Kodagu remained as an independent state. It was only in the year 1956 that Kodagu became a part of Mysore state. Mysore was later on renamed as Karnataka. The district is a hilly area. Kodagu, as you all know, is a hilly area. It is situated in the eastern part of the Western Ghats. The customary attire of the people is unique. The attire means dress that they wear. The dress that the people of Kodagu wear is unique or something special compared to the dresses worn by people in other parts of Karnataka. Here in the picture you can see a dress of a Kodagu man and a Kodagu woman. Their dress is something special and unique which you don't find it in any other part of Karnataka. Huttari, a festival of harvest, is celebrated during harvest season. Children, we all celebrate in different states different harvest festivals. For example, in Karnataka it is celebrated as Sankranti. In Punjab it is celebrated as Baisakhi. Tamilians celebrate it as Pongal. Similarly, the Kodavas or the people of Kodagu, they also celebrate the festival of harvest by the name of Huttari. Huttari is the harvest festival. In Kannada you call it as Suggi Habba. It is usually celebrated in the months of either November or December. So during this Huttari, what do people do? In the Huttari festival, people wear their traditional costumes. Traditional costume is the costume that I have already shown you in the picture here. They wear that costume and they go to their paddy fields. Paddy is mainly cultivated in Kodagu region. Paddy in Kannada you call it as Bhatta. So they go to their paddy fields in their traditional costumes and they offer a Thanksgiving traditional puja and then they harvest the paddy. They also have a traditional dance. You can see in the picture over here. They perform a traditional dance also during this Huttari festival. Huttari festival is of great significance for the Kodavas or the people of Kodagu. Kodagu is a famous tourist place. Kodagu is mainly famous for its scenic beauty. Talakaveri, the birthplace of river Kaveri, is in Kodagu. The place where the river Kaveri takes its birth is known as Talakaveri. Here you can see in the picture. Talakaveri is the place where the river Kaveri takes its birth. It is in Kodagu. The other important places are the Abbe Falls. The Abbe Falls is one of the most beautiful waterfalls that you find in Karnataka after the Jog Falls. After Jog Falls, if any other waterfalls has so much of beauty and attracts tourists is the Abbe Waterfalls. And you also have the Iruppu Waterfalls and the Dubare Elephant Camp. The Dubare Elephant Camp is an elephant camp situated in Kodagu where lots of elephants are kept. A large number of tourists also visit these places. Kodagu is next to Chikmagaluru in coffee production in India. When it comes to production of coffee, the first state, the district is Chikmagaluru. The next one is Kodagu. Kodagu stands next to Chikmagaluru in the production of coffee. There are a large number of coffee estates in Kodagu. Kodagu is the second smallest district in Karnataka. Remember the first smallest district in Karnataka we have learnt in your previous class while studying Bengaluru division. It is Bengaluru urban. And the second smallest one is Kodagu. Kodagu comprises basically of three talukas. They are Somwarpet, Madikeri also known as Kodagu Taluka and Virajpet. They are the three talukas that come in Kodagu. Children, the largest district in terms of area in Karnataka is Belagavi and the smallest one is Bangalore urban. Kodagu is the second smallest district in Karnataka. The Kodavas form a major part of the population. The Kodavas are people who belong to Kodagu. So apart from the Kodavas, the other people who live in Kodagu are the tribes like the Kudiyas and the Malay Kudiyas. Apart from these two tribes, even Muslims and Christians also constitute the population of Kodagu. The Kodagu people are basically known for their heroic deeds and for their bravery. They have contributed a lot to India's defense, administrative services as well as sports. The best example we can give is of that of General Kariyappa, who was the first commander-in-chief of the Indian Army. The church that you can see in the picture over here is the Church of Saint Anne's in Virajpet. It is also an important place of worship in Kodagu. It is situated in Virajpet. So children, so far you have learnt about the different aspects of Kodagu. In your next class, we will learn about Udupi and Dakshina Kannada. Till then, stay home and stay safe.